Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am making some lasagna. Now I know I've already put videos on here of my meat sauce, but I have a lot of new subscribers and I wanted to, since I'm making it, I wanted to go ahead and film it and you know, upload it so all my newbies can know how to make this delicious pasta sauce. It's very easy to make and it is so delicious. Let me show you what I've got going on. I've already got my meat started here. This is just ground chuck. I like to use ground chuck. And what I do is I like to drain it after I get it cooked. And after that is when I add my onions and my garlic to it. Because if you drain it, you know, if you cook your onions and your garlic in with it and then you drain the grease off of it, and all that flavor goes right down, you know, the drain or wherever you drain your grease out. Now, when you add your seasonings to your sauce, your pasta sauce, I like to generally do it after I've added my tomatoes, my tomato sauce and my crushed tomatoes in there, because I like to see exactly how much sauce this is going to make so I know how much seasonings to put in there. And today I'm probably going to make 2 pans of lasagna. I like to make extra for the week so we can have something good to eat. So I'm going to see how much this makes. And I'll probably add just a little bit of water to that. I'll definitely clean my cans out there. And when I'm making this, I don't like to put a whole lot of meat in it. I don't like it to be like super meaty. Now if you like it super meaty, you go ahead and add all the meat you want to add. That was probably about a pound of ground chuck there. I am definitely going to add that 4th can of tomato sauce. And these are the 29-ounce cans. Now sometimes I put, you know, like the petite diced tomatoes in there as well. I just usually use what I have on hand. I did have to go to the store yesterday to get the stuff to make this, but you know, typically if I have a whole lot of different tomato type cans of tomatoes, whether it's petite diced, regular diced, I'll also throw those in with the tomato sauce as well. It doesn't have to be just the tomato sauce. And I never ever put the tomato paste in there. I never do that. I'm gonna rinse these cans out and get all that goodness into this pot, and we're gonna go ahead and start seasoning this up. We are done with the tomatoes there, so we're gonna go ahead and start adding our seasonings to this. I'm gonna add some pepper. You know what? I need some pepper for my pepper mill, so I don't really have a lot in there, so I'm just using what I have here. And we're going to also use some Italian seasoning. Now, I just eyeball it. I don't measure anything. What I normally do is just add what I think, really honestly, what I think is enough. And then I taste it after it's cooked for about an hour. Then I taste it and see what I need to add. And this is a big pot. This is a big pot of sauce, so you're going to want to make sure that you add plenty of seasonings to it. I'm going to throw in some minced onions. Y'all know my love for those. And then got some basil here. We're going to throw in a little bit of basil. And you don't have to use a lot of this dried basil. This is the freeze-dried basil. And I'm telling you what, it's just like using fresh. I love this stuff. I will never buy any of the other jarred basil. If I can't get it fresh, this is the best thing next to fresh. It's just it's so fragrant. A little bit of basil. And then we're going to throw some bay leaves in there. Some people put sugar in their pasta sauce, but I don't do that. And these aren't very big. Well, that one's pretty big, but I'm going to add, that one's pretty small. I'm going to add probably about 3 of those. Let's do 4. Why not, right? And then just stir it around there. I typically like to add a little bit of oregano with it, but I don't have any. But I'm like 100% sure that there's oregano in this Italian seasoning. So you just combine it really well. And I'm going to bring it up to a slow boil. I'm going to turn it down. I'm going to let it simmer. And in about an hour, I'm going to give it a taste for seasoning, see if I need to add anything else. What I typically like to do is cook this for a good hour and a half to 2 hours before I start my lasagna. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic powder as well. That was about 3 cloves of garlic that I put in there, but like I said, this is a big pot of pasta sauce. Now, if you're not a fan of, you know, the meat in your pasta sauce, if you wanted to make just some meatballs and throw in there, that would be really good. I'm going to keep my eye on this. You got to watch it. Make sure you don't turn it up too high because that tomato sauce will scorch. Put a lid on it. Just kind of cock it to the side there. Once it starts coming up to a boil, I'm going to turn it down and let it simmer probably for a good 2 hours. My sauce is done. It cooked for about 2 hours on top of the stove and it smells absolutely amazing in here. Got my pans ready to go. I've got my noodles already cooked. And you really only have to cook them maybe 5 minutes. You don't have to cook them until they're all the way done because the oven's going to do the rest of the work for you. So what I like to do is add just a little bit of the sauce to the bottom of the pan here. It just ensures that the noodles does not stick. I'm telling you what, I tasted this and it is absolutely amazing. So put your layer on the bottom. And then I just take my noodles and just add them right to the pan. Now, I like 3 layers of noodles, but my husband only likes 2, so we're going to do 2 layers. And then 1 more. I think I'll take one right across the top there. Ooh, those are still hot. There we go. Now, we are not a fan of ricotta cheese, so I always use cottage cheese with mine. If you like ricotta, you go right ahead and use the ricotta. And I don't never put it in a bowl and mix everything together before putting it on here. I just, you know, just layer it. I'm going to top it with mozzarella cheese. And then I also use the shaker Parmesan as well. You can use as much or as little cheese as you like. We like a lot of cheese on our lasagna. I'm going to go back over with some sauce. And then another layer of noodles. All right, my lasagna is done. It baked in the oven for an hour, and then I pulled it out and put some more cheese on top of it. Yes, more cheese. And then I left the foil off of it and baked it for an additional 15 to 20 minutes. It smells so good. I want you to take a look at it. Look at that. I've got it sitting out. I like to let it sit out for about 10 or 15 minutes before we cut into it, so all the goodness can settle. It's so nice and saucy. Look at that. I'm going to toss some homemade garlic toast in the oven, and then we're going to be ready to eat. I hope you like this video. Give it a thumbs up if you do. You know I love you guys very much, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.